butter my biscuits and call me Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
You're listening to TKR. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to TKR, your new favorite podcast.
We're your old favorite podcast.
Yeah, we're the only one you listen to. We know it. Anyways, hi, everybody. For those of you who are new here, my name is Riley, and I'm here with my co-host, DK.
Hello, that's me. I'm TK.
We hope you all had a very awesome Thanksgiving, ate some good food, and had some good time with friends and family.
I hope all the family gossip was rattled out. I hope you guys stayed up until 3 in the morning talking about everyone you guys hate is Unity.
My sister showed me this thing, and it was like this. They did like Thanksgiving bingo, or it was like grandma Thanksgiving bingo of like things that grandma said, and it was just a bingo sheet with just like one of the things was something racist. One of them was like something about how tall you've gotten, how old you are, how skinny you look, how's your car doing. And it was just like grandma bingo.
That would be so much fun if I didn't live near my grandma.
Yeah.
Oh my.
It's such a good idea. I love it.
Oh, we should do something like that for next Comic-Con that we work as a vendor at. Like, instead of being like people coming up in or like certain costumes, it has to be people that say certain things. Yo.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
We're getting Bethany on this.
And we're gonna plan ahead, so we're gonna do a Comic-Con bingo. We'll plan ahead because I don't think we've discussed this on the podcast before, but TK made one sort of on the fly of just like of like costumes and stuff that we would see, and it was really fun. And so I think it'd be fun to have like a bunch pre-prepared, just so we can go.
Yeah, it was nice too because I don't know if I mentioned it. There were some people, like I think you and Bethany stepped away for a minute, and someone came up. It was one person that you guys were cheering for that like walked by, and she came up and was like, "Why were they cheering earlier?" I'm like, "Oh, we were playing bingo, and like you were the deciding factor." Oh, okay, that's kind of cool. So it brightened someone's day. So
yeah, that's awesome. I love it. So we'll definitely have to do that again because that was really fun. So what's new? Anything happened in the last week? We actually had a weekend between recordings for the first time in like Actually no, technically it's been like 2 weeks. Cuz the last week's episode was pre-recorded.
Yeah, wow. It's been so long.
Which if you haven't listened to the last week's episode, it was actually a really fun episode. I enjoyed listening back to that one. That was with our first guest. It was awesome.
Yeah, honestly, I need to go back and re-listen to it. When it uploaded, I originally was gonna watch it, but I don't know what happened to the upload on YouTube, but it only was showing it in 360p for me. Yeah, I think it fixed itself.
You know why? Okay, you know why? It's because I didn't set it to schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, when you're uploading to YouTube, you upload it and it does it in standard definition, and then it takes a few hours to process up to HD.
Mm-hmm.
So when we schedule it, we don't have a problem because it has like all overnight in order to get up to that high definition.
Right.
But when I set it to like instantly go up, it was locked into 360p since the HD hasn't processed.
Yeah,
also,
it looks fine now.
Don't watch the YouTube one because the audio is very bad.
Is it?
I don't think I changed it yet because what happened, and this is going to make you laugh, is I don't know if it was the iPhone recording that messed it up or whatever, but whenever your audio peaked from your microphone, it desynced. And you know what the funniest part about that is?
Huh?
What caused it to desync in the first place was you leaning into your lav mic and screaming, "It's because I'm black, isn't it?" And that screwed up the audio for the entire thing. It was so funny. And so it was super echoey and super bad. And so this was like a few days after I got my wisdom teeth pulled. And so I didn't feel like sitting there and editing, so I just kind of went with it. And didn't listen back to the whole thing, so I didn't notice until after it went up. So that's a note I want to make is You know, we haven't been very good. The last couple of weeks have been a little hard getting the podcast out on time. But I think we should make it an effort to prioritize health and mental health first.
Yes.
Which is something that I think is very important to establish at the beginning. And
Absolutely.
it's not like I was just putting the pressure on myself, like, oh, I need to get this out. It's not like TK was like, you need to get it out. No, because TK, I know you would urge me not to put.
I
that
literally
pressure on
told
myself.
him, it's like, it's fine if it's late.
right before this podcast, he encouraged me to record tomorrow since I wasn't feeling very well, but we're good. So I do appreciate that though.
Absolutely, because I know you won't look out for yourself.
Yeah, I very much get in my my own head, and I'm like, I need to do this. Nothing can stop me from doing this. So it's good to have somebody who steps in and says, "Hey, take it easy."
I'm the
So I
Ron
appreciate
Stoppable to your Kim Possible.
Exactly. But yeah, we all right. I want to talk about this because this is something that happened this week. I found what I think, and it's going viral right now for good reason. I think I found the most fun multiplayer game that I've played in a long time.
Okay.
So,
Give
and
it to
maybe you've already seen it. It's this game. It's an indie game. I think it was developed by a single dude. It's called Lethal Company.
Lethal
Have you heard
Company?
about it? Yeah.
Never.
Oh, okay. It's just been going viral in like the last week or so. But it's this game. It's like, okay, I don't even know how to explain it. So it's kind of like a Phasmophobia style game where you get in a lobby with 4 people. And basically the goal is you are like a scrapper and you work for this company called The Company Store. Very vague and mysterious. And basically you have 3 days to do a job and you have to meet a certain quota. So you have to go to these like abandoned planets and collect scrap from these facilities. And then you take that scrap and return it to the company store. And if you don't meet your price quota, you get sent into space and die. But so the thing is the buildings, like there's a bunch of different moons or planets that you go to. And when you enter the facility, each day it's procedurally generated. So it's different every time you go in. And there's like different creatures and like cryptids and SCP type stuff that'll show up in the facility. And so it's so much fun. It's one of those games that like it shouldn't be scary and it's really funny because it's got really good proximity chat. And the proximity chat has like voice effects on it. So if you're in like a big room, the voices will echo. And when you're in different, like it just sounds different in different situations. It's so funny because you just like, you hear your friends screaming in the room next and you run over there and their dead bodies just laying on the ground. And it's like one of those games that's so funny, but it's also horrifying. Like it's so much fun. So I want to live stream that with you.
Looking at it, I think
soon.
it looks familiar. I think I've seen like maybe on like a Rage compilation of Wildcat and Nogla and Terrorizer playing it. It looks like that kind of familiar.
Oh yeah. They just played it earlier this week.
Okay, I think it's where I'm noticing it from because I was
Probably. Yeah, it's so much fun. We had a group of 4 running it the other night, and oh my gosh, it's so good. I don't. There's just like this addicting loop with it, because it's procedurally generated. It's like fresh every time. And the difficulty changes too. You don't know until you land on the planet and get like the hazard level or the danger level. So it's totally like different every time. It's so cool. And it's only $10. It's still in early access. Because once again, from what I understand, it's just one dude working on it. But it's so much fun. So I think we'll definitely have to stream that sometime soon. Because that's a fun one. But yeah, anything else new in your life?
Well, let's see. No.
Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
Oh yeah, you just reminded me of something that was new. So Thanksgiving was nice. It was very strange because it was the first Thanksgiving I've had without any of my siblings.
Oh yeah.
So it was literally just me, my mom, my roommate, and my grandma.
Wow.
That was it. Yeah. My sister like came into town the night before, but then she left before we had Thanksgiving, so she wasn't there with us. But yeah, we didn't. It was so weird.
Yeah. Interesting. It was good though.
Yeah, it wasn't as chaotic as usual. Usually we have like a group of like 15 to 16 people at like 8 p.m. But
Yeah.
Which also reminded me that we're picking up my little brother from the airport on Friday. He's coming home.
Oh, cool. His semester's probably finishing up, right?
Yeah, we're getting close to it. I think he's doing like an early leave just so he doesn't have to go for the more expensive flights.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's smart.
You wanna know what this bastard did to us? Or I guess it's my mom's fault. So, on Friday, we had to leave at 8:30 to drive to Detroit, right?
Yeah.
His flight comes in at midnight.
Okay.
So 8:30 p.m. we're driving to Detroit to the airport, picking him up, and then coming back home. We won't be back home until like 4 a.m.
Oh no.
This is all after 2. I had to work that day.
Oh no. Oh, that's terrible.
I talked to my mom about it. I'm like, there's no way you did this, right? She was gonna drive by herself. I'm like, no, of course not. I'll go with you. But she originally, this is something that bothers me. I don't know if it's every mom or if it's just mine, but she goes, "Can I borrow your car for Friday?" It's like, your brother has a flight coming in at midnight. So I'm like, okay, is it like you need to borrow it Thursday night and you're going to be out Friday morning, or Friday night and it'll be out until Saturday morning? Actually, let me read the actual text that I sent because it bothers me how much she just doesn't understand. So she said his flight doesn't come in Detroit until close to midnight. And I said, like Friday morning or Saturday morning? She says Friday night. I'm like, Mom, that doesn't answer my question. Which one do I need to plan for so I can go with you?
Right. Oh my goodness.
It took me 2 days for her to understand what I was asking.
That's funny.
I love her to death, but she does it all the time where I can never just get like an answer out of her. Like, I'll literally ask her a question with 2 options and she'll pick a third option. Like, woman, I gave you 2. Yeah. Are you ready 3?
Oh my gosh.
Anyways.
That's funny. Yeah.
Mom, if you're listening to this, I love you. Everyone who's listening out here, go tell your mom you love them. Go tell your dad you love them. Go tell any family member you love them. Just because.
Just
do it for TKR.
Do it for enough. Do it for us. Tell them we love them too, even if they don't know who we are.
And if they don't know who we are, plug us. TKR Pod.
Yep. Send them the Spotify link. Yep.
Also, when I looked up Lethal Company, I looked up images of it, and the first thing that came up was how to beat Spore Lizard. It's just,
dude, it's funny because like it's totally because it's randomly generated every time. Like you sometimes you just get screwed.
Oh,
It's so
really?
funny. We were I was playing with two guys because that's the thing is there's like these you land in your ship, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes what we do, there's like a monitor in the ship where it gives you like a kind of a chart or a map of where your teammates are.
Mm-hmm.
And you can point out, like, if you're looking at the map, you can point out where the scrap is, where the enemies are located. You can open doors from your terminal in the ship.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's like a walkie-talkie system. So
Okay.
usually we have like one dedicated person who stays in the ship and kind of guides the other two who are going into the facility. But what
Huh.
happens sometimes is sometimes these, I think they're called dogs, but they're like weird alien dogs. These giant things that'll just rip you to shreds. They'll
Yeah,
just,
dogs.
yeah, exactly. They'll just camp the door to the ship, and your door only has a certain amount of power on it, and so it's like there's nothing you can do unless you have like some sort of weapon or something, which of course you have to build up to. You have to buy stuff in order to get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
But so sometimes you're just like screwed. There's nothing you can do. And then there was another time where like you can't see inside the facility before you go in. And so there was a monster called a slime that just like you take damage when you walk through it.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like standing at the door to the entrance. So we all just went in and immediately died. Just because it was, and there's like nothing you can do.
Spawn campaign.
Spawn, exactly. But yeah, dude, with the proximity chat and stuff, it's just so funny. One of the guys I was playing with had a soundboard, so he was playing that Five Nights at Freddy's, the Michael, like pounding on the door. Don't leave me here. It's just so funny when he's standing behind a locked door and you just hear that. It's so funny. So we're definitely gonna play that. I think that'd be a good video for the TKR channel.
Yes.
Speaking of that, I gotta edit those videos now that I'm fully recovered from my wisdom tooth thing. That was a rough week, but I'm finally finally on the tail end of it.
I wasn't there to then record the entire day. I was so ready to just like vlog the entire day.
You know what's funny though is I didn't react to the anesthetic.
Oh, God damn it.
No, I woke up. I even woke up like in the middle of the surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Not like fully woke up, but like no, after the surgery I woke up and like I was completely mentally alert, I guess. Yeah, I don't know why I don't react to it, but I was obviously like a little loopy, but like I still remember everything that happened.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Do you remember a couple years ago when that one surgeon got in trouble because she would dance while operating on her patients?
oh no, I never heard about that.
No, you never heard about her?
No, that sounds terrible.
Oh my! She didn't do it in like an awful way. She would just like be kind of like doing like small grooving movements, kind of thing. Like just so she wasn't standing still. But could you imagine like waking up and you just see like your surgeon breaking down,
Just boogieing in the corner.
Let me see if I can find her. Surgeon.
That's
dances.
insane. That's wild. Yeah, I'll have to see that. Is there like a video of her dancing while she's performing surgery?
It sucks. Not even lying. There literally was a name that came up immediately.
I'm sure
Dr.
that's
I'm not even gonna say their name just in case I get it wrong, but oh no, it's so much worse than I thought it would be. Okay, there's nobody there. Oh,
okay.
it has like a flash mob image. that came up.
Oh no, flash mob in the middle of surgery. That sounds great. Oh man, that's wild.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh, there's apparently more than what I remember now because there was one like really big one, but now there's a new person that I don't recognize who looks like she's singing into a mic with a body
Oh
next
my
to her.
gosh. Oh no. Is this like a frequent occurrence?
I,
This is
I guess
terrible.
so. But
That's
I can
awful.
understand the part of it of like, you know, if you're like operating, if you're like away from the body,
Right.
or away from your patient, excuse me, I shouldn't say body because they're alive. If you're away from your patient and you're like getting like the nerves out and you like do like a little dance before you start, that's one thing. But I think
Right.
what she was doing was like she was like actually like bobbing her head and like tapping her feet while she's like in someone.
Yeah. That's
Which first off,
insane.
who's recording her? Your phones aren't allowed in there. There's a lot of issues that go along with.
Oh, that's awful. That's insane. Man, that's why I just don't trust people. I don't like the thought of like just being put to sleep because I don't know what's happening. I will say I did have to go down to U of M for it, so I trust them a little more than I trust most doctors. So
Okay, with that being said, let me ask you this. Would you trust anyone in your senior class that you graduated with to
No.
operate on you? Not a
No.
single person.
No, absolutely not. Even the ones who I'm very close with, I would not trust anybody. Even the thought of that scared. That's even the worst part too. Is you think about the last the last couple of years, how many surgeons are we going to have in the future who did their exams over Zoom? And even like everything, like engineers, physicists, everything. It's like we're gonna have we're gonna have people building our infrastructure who cheated on their Zoom exams.
Or would have
Like
those
that's gonna
people
be.
that had like Subway Surfer in the background so they can only do their work with the Subway Surfer music on.
Oh, that's it's gonna be interesting. Yeah, yikes. Now I'm just imagining like like you're in a surgeon room and just like on loop over the loudspeakers, the Subway Surfer music is just playing. Oh, that's funny.
The guy crashes and the surgeon's like, I can't continue.
He's like, wait, quick, play it again.
Your heart is in his hands. He's like, I can't do it. I don't know what I'm doing.
Lost all focus. I don't remember.
What am I supposed to do? Funny man, play it again.
Cue the music. DJ, turn it up.
I told you, you at least need to get to 1 million for me to fix him.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, okay, hear me out though, right? We have people like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Theoretically, they have to listen to Subway Surfer, right?
Yeah.
What if we then get people to become professional Subway Surfer players?
Who get paid to just stand in the corner of the surgery room.
So on your resume, it's like, we hear you got to 2 million before. It's like, oh, I can do that in my sleep. And it's like, well, you're hired. He goes, I hope he doesn't realize that was a YouTube video.
I had cheats on. I cheated on Subway Surfers. Oh
I get permeation. I just went through all the trains.
Oh gosh. Man, imagine. Okay, let's talk about that for a second. People who cheat in like competitive video games, I don't understand it. We were watching when I was down at TK's, we were watching some kind of documentary style videos on people like that.
Got cheated.
Yeah, but also like the whole water got him thing.
Oh, if any of you are into Apex and you know who Water Gotham is, you will understand my hatred for the community sometimes. Like, he still has his channel.
Yeah, that's insane.
Like,
but he's not doing Apex anymore. He's doing CS:GO,
no,
right?
That's the good thing about Apex is we all agreed to kick him out. Like,
yeah.
he's completely shadow banned, but he now just has CS:GO. But like the fact that he's still allowed to like make videos is insane.
Yeah, that's crazy. Man, I don't like I just don't understand like people who do, like, cause what's the obviously for clout. I mean, that's why people
Yeah,
do it.
that's
But
the
like,
biggest thing. Like as a streamer, it makes more sense because as a streamer, I forget who it was. I think it was, if anyone knows Imperial Hal from Apex, he said it the best. You either, to be a good streamer, you either need to be funny or you need to be good. That's the basis of
right,
being a good streamer. And
right,
so when people aren't funny and they need to be good, they
right.
should go to the cheats so then they can be good, so
Yeah,
that it can make their career.
that's a good way to put it. I never thought about it like that.
Right?
You need to be funny or you need to be good. That makes total sense.
Exactly. And just some people, bless their hearts, just can't be funny or can't be funny to everyone. Right? Like, not everyone's going to understand my humor and everyone's going to understand your humor, but, you know, it's what it is. But people just, there was one who, even like the documentary that we were watching, I don't know if we got this one, even this channel roasted this guy. It was like, he is so unfunny, and it had a clip of him like his comedy was he was playing COD, and this girl was in voice chat, and he said to this girl like, "Hey, why are you trying to be a girl?" And she said, "What?" And then he laughed like this.
Oh no.
It's like, ew.
Oh
but it's
my gosh.
it's like things like that. So he felt like he had to cheat in order to get to a career out of it, which I mean makes sense. My problem with cheaters is people that don't try to make money off of it, that don't stream, that don't post to YouTube. People
They
that
just cheat to cheat.
That's my problem. Like
I will say, like, okay, it's one thing. Like I've thought about, especially in like CS:GO, seeing people play with the hitbox and stuff. I'm like, I'd like to try it, but I wouldn't do it in like public competitive lobbies. Like I wouldn't do it for points. I do it like offline with bots. You know, just to see what it's like.
Yeah, I mean,
but like I don't get. You can't enjoy a game. Like it sucks all the fun out of it. Like for everybody else playing.
Literally, like that's what my problem is. Like if you are not making money off of the cheats you're using, like what point is it? Because it's, you're literally like at your house or you're literally by yourself. You're playing with cheats on. What do you get out of it? Unless you're like there's nothing. Even unless you're like the developer of the cheats and you're like promoting it by like, oh, these are how the cheats work. But if you're just someone that's like just cheating just to cheat, like why?
Yeah, I really don't see a benefit to it.
Literally. And like, this is not us condoning cheating in any ways. If you do cheats, that's awful and you should be banned if you do get banned. But at the same time, there's always the interest of it from normal people. Like, you remember like FaZe Jarvis doing it in Fortnite, right?
Yeah.
I can understand the aspect of like wanting to try it and see what it's like, but he went into public lobbies.
Right. That's where it's a problem. Like if you're just messing around with friends and you want to like, you know, just try it out. I still don't know if I'd condone it in that sense, but like at least it's more harmless doing that. But when you're doing it to like gain skill level and compete against other players and gain an advantage over other people, it's just stupid.
Once you take it to public, that is the immediate issue. I would say even against your friends is a little bit iffy. In like, even if it's like just a custom lobby, because you're still taking it into an online scenario,
right?
Like if it's just you, like let's say Apex in the firing range, if you're trying it that way, then I mean go for it. It's in the firing range. But if you take it to any other aspect of it, then it becomes a problem. Because like, which also reminds me, there was I forget what his name was, but there was a guy who it was a streamer, and one of his video titles was "If you can't beat him, join him." And so he downloaded cheats and started blatantly using cheats, right? And he started like posting on TikTok, being like, "Respawn." I was like, I think it was COD, so I forget what it is. He was like, "COD, I'm trying to show y'all something, so don't take this down." Like trying to show like what each cheat looks like, which I mean, okay, cool, whatever. But then he was in public lobbies.
Mm.
And it's like, come on, man.
Yeah, that's another problem I have too, is like people trying to bring, I guess, like try to get the developers to pay attention, or trying to call light to a specific issue by cheating. So that's a thing that's been happening in Team Fortress 2 for like 3 years now. Is almost without fail, almost every single lobby you go into has sniper bots that just like immediately headshot anytime you get within range of them. And it's a huge issue because, like, you know, Valve just doesn't really care about the game anymore, so they just haven't done anything to fix it.
Right.
But so that's the thing, is the developers of this bot made a post on Reddit close to the beginning of it where they were basically like, we're holding this game ransom. Like, we're going to keep the bots up until Valve does something to like fix this game or whatever. And they just haven't done it because, you know, they've made it easier. It was even worse because, like, that's a thing, I guess, in most games, is you can vote kick, right?
Yeah.
That was the thing, was at the beginning, you couldn't vote kick the bots.
Oh.
The bots had some line of code that would just immediately cancel the vote kick. And they have since fixed that out, so it's not as bad. But still, it's like, I don't understand how, like, especially Valve's anti-cheat system that they have built in is pretty good. Like, it should not be that easy to, I don't know, it's just annoying because these people are claiming to be spamming these bots to help the game, to try to get their attention, but it's like you're just ruining the game for everybody else.
That's how it kind of was. There's an old pro player of Apex. His name is His Watson. He I don't know what through his head, but Apex just has their head of anti-cheat. His name is Hideouts. He's on Twitter. You basically, like, you can message him and you can assume that he will see the message and then, like, go do something about it. So a lot of people in Apex will, if they find someone that's cheating, they'll go to Twitter, they'll take a picture of the name or take a picture of the stats or something, tag Hideouts, and then you know that Hideouts can do something about it, right?
Yeah.
But the problem is it's only one guy you can communicate with, which is just Hideouts. So His Watson, I think it was like maybe a year ago now, had seen that there was a huge influx of cheaters and that Hideouts couldn't get to all of them. So what he did was he started just attacking Hideouts on Twitter, like just like assaulting him like verbally. And then it got to the point where His Watson was telling people to cheat more.
That's insane.
So that Hideouts will have to do something about it. It was so infuriating because as a pro player, you're telling people to cheat more. I understand why you're saying to do it, but like, there's no reason to attack Hideouts for him doing his job.
No,
he can't get to everything. And what makes it even funnier, this is the funniest part about the situation, because of the verbal abuse onto Hideouts, he got banned from the Pro League for the first week. So his team had to play with their sub.
Oh my gosh.
And they were like, out of the 20 teams, I think they were like 13th or below, I think. Which, shout outs to Prodigy Aces. I know you'll never listen to this, but shout outs to you. He had like, the sub was Prodigy Aces. He had the highest kills among their team, but then their momentum couldn't pick back up when he got back because he was a week later than everyone else. And it was even worse because he was their IGL, their in-game leader. So he was, it just wasn't working.
Yeah. That sucks. Yeah, that's such a stupid thing. That's the thing with TF2 as well, is since Valve, like, Team Fortress 2 still, in terms of like concurrent players, is still like highest every day for the amount of players playing the game. And like, from what I understand, Valve only has one developer working on TF2 at all times. One guy, not just like on anti-cheat or anything, like one guy doing the entire game.
Oh.
And that's why I just don't know. It's crazy, like, unless they're working on porting over Team Fortress 2 to Source 2 like they did with CSGO.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't understand how a game with that many players is last priority for a company like Valve.
Yeah.
Because they're not doing a whole lot with gaming now. I mean, like they still do Dota, which I think is one of their big things. They still do Counter-Strike.
Mm-hmm.
But like I really I don't know. I know they've been focusing on a lot of the hardware stuff with like the Valve Index and the Steam Deck that just came out. But I just
Yeah.
don't understand how they're letting a game like TF2 just be overrun when it's still their like biggest game that they have.
Maybe that's the reason. It's because it's still the biggest game they have. If they saw like the numbers dropping to like an extreme level, then maybe they do more about it to revive the game. But because they're still getting the numbers that they want, they probably see no reason to like do anything about it.
True. I mean, it's just insane because the last game, like, I actually follow a guy on Instagram who posts a picture of the engineer every single day until Valve updates the game.
Oh God.
And I mean, this is how long it's been. I remember the last update that came out it was called Jungle Inferno.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of fun. That was back in the prime of when I was playing TF2. And so like it was this big update. They added new weapons for Pyro. That was the thing, was it was a fan vote. They were like, we can either give Pyro new weapons or we can give Heavy new weapons. And obviously Pyro won, so they did that. But that was the thing, was they were like, oh, we'll do the Heavy update next. And we were like, oh, okay, so it'll be like a year or so. It just never came out. They just never did it. And so it's like, you know, so I follow this guy who has been posting a picture of Engineer every day since Jungle Inferno until they update the game again. And let
How
me
bad
check
is it?
where he's at now. He just posted day 1611.
That's over 3 years.
Yeah, it's 4.5 years, close to it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I remember sitting, and it's probably actually been longer than that because I don't know if he started right when Jungle Inferno came out. I think he waited like a year, but I remember it was 11th grade when the update came out because I remember sitting in the back of the room in pre-calc, and they dropped like the cinematic for it, and we just like dropped everything we were doing and just started watching it. So that's how long it's been since that game has received an actual content update.
Really quickly, which teacher was it that dropped everything and let you guys watch the trailer?
Oh no, it wasn't like the teacher didn't. We were just sitting in the back working on stuff.
I even thought you were gonna drop like teacher was gonna like out there like
Yeah. No, he would totally he was the one who introduced me to Steam.
Oh really?
Yeah, because that was the thing, was I wanted to download Source Filmmaker, which is Valve's animation program, like their open source animation program that they make all their cinematics with. And so it was I think it was my buddy Joe who was trying to convince me, but Steam was still like kind of a foreign concept to me. So I talked to that teacher about it, and he was just like, oh yeah, it's like, you know, totally safe, it's legit, it's like the biggest. So I credit him for getting me into Steam. Yeah, so it's yeah. Anyways, that was that. But yeah, no, so TF2 technically does have content updates, quote unquote, because they still have loot crates, cosmetic crates, which you have to pay $2.50 to open.
Yeah.
Which, you know, is what it is. But that's the thing, though, is those are all community based. So TF2 has this thing where you can basically design a cosmetic or a taunt or an unusual effect, and you upload it to the Steam page, whatever. I don't remember what it's called right now. And then people vote on them. You can say, like, yeah, I'd like to see this in the game. And so every time they do, like, a winter update or a summer update or a Halloween update, they basically take these fan-made cosmetics and put them into the game. And they do the same thing with the maps, too. So, like, every content update that the game has gotten in the last 6 years has completely been created by the community. Like, Valve has done nothing, which is really a shame for a game like that. But, you know, I'm glad the community is still very active.
Yeah.
And the voice actors, too. The voice actors have started doing signings and, like, meet and greets.
Oh, that's awesome.
They've started doing live action videos and stuff. It's really great. But I just wish Valve... That's the only logical thing I can think of in my head is like, oh, they're working on porting it to Source 2. That's why they haven't put a lot of effort into the original game.
About 4 years.
But, like, 4 or 5 years. Yeah, that was either the end of 2017 or the beginning of 2018. It was probably the beginning of 2018 when it came out. So it's just it's insane that they have a game that's that big and they're just not doing anything with it. But I'm hoping they're because even Counter-Strike 2 or whatever they're calling it, porting it to Source 2, they didn't really tell anybody they were doing that.
Really?
Until it, not that I'm aware of. I think it was like a stealth launch where they were just like, oh, by the way, we're running it in Source 2 now. So it could be that they're working on porting it over, but my hopes are very low. But I guess we'll see. Man, we're so far. We haven't even talked about Good Burger 2 yet.
I was gonna say, speaking of voice actors,
we finally watched Good Burger 2.
Yay!
Oh man, it was so. It's like.
Oh,
it's
before anything, spoilers ahead for Good Burger 2.
Oh yeah, if you don't want to watch spoilers or hear about spoilers, go watch the movie and come back and listen to this afterwards.
We'll give you 20 minutes.
Yeah, we'll sit here for 20 minutes of silence while you go do that, and then return when you're done. No, it was it was so crazy, like returning to this world.
Yeah.
After like 20, what was it? It came out in 1990, so like 26 years ish. 26 years of not seeing anything from this universe. It was crazy to go back and like see the characters again, and because they haven't changed.
1997.
Yeah, it's crazy. And that's the thing. That was the big thing is I saw complaints like, oh, this movie like is 20 years too late. It's not funny. It's like they kept the comedy the same.
Yeah.
And they kept the characters exactly the same. Like, I understand from people who aren't fans of the original, watching the movie would probably be bored with it because they just wouldn't get the references and the cameos and the, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But for, like, diehard fans of the original like us, I in my opinion, I think it was pretty good.
In all actuality, we went in to the movie with... I went in with high expectations.
Oh yeah,
and immediately was blown out of the park. Everything about this movie was perfect in the way of like it's Good Burger 2.
Well, and it's just like they didn't try to overdo it with like the visual effects. Like they still used like the green screen burger puppets on like just floating there. Like it stayed true to the cheesiness of the original and like the comedy style.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like it's what I expected from a Good Burger sequel. And that makes me very happy. And
it's so good.
It is. And they didn't overdo it with like the, you know, references to the original. Like they didn't try to change anything. It was very true to the original. I'm so glad they brought back Grape Nose Boy. Bloobity 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 bloobity. Yeah, it's really good.
Hold on. I was looking up the cast again because I was going to talk about some of the things.
Yeah, the Google main casting is just all wrong.
One of the security guards, I can't tell if that's the one of the goons or not. No, there it is. In like the cast list, one of the characters' names is Tough Goon, and the other one is Scrawny Goon. They didn't give them names.
They didn't even give them names. No, because that's all they referred to them was goons. Even at the end when they were eating at the Good Burger, they were just like, "Hey, how's it going, goons?" They're like, "Glad you're enjoying it, goons." They didn't even give them names.
Now before we get into anything else, we need to talk about something really quick. Which one is your favorite kid? Which one of Ed's kids was your favorite?
I mean, just his son that was there. That was just Ed. I think in the credits his name was Ed too. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I don't know how they found that kid to play Ed too, but he was perfect.
His name is Alex Hilbert.
Alex Hilbert. Yeah, if they had to if they were trying to make a sequel to the original without using the original actors, he would have been like as close you can get to Ed without just getting Kel Mitchell.
Oh wow! So he's in Moonlight, he's in Black Panther, he's in Chai, and he's only 3 years younger than us.
Really?
Yeah, July 4th, 2004.
He was so funny. He even nailed the mannerisms of young Ed. It was so funny. I saw him in a bit of the trailer, and I was wondering if it was just like another. I didn't know it was Ed's son.
Mm-hmm.
I when I saw the trailer, I thought it could have just been like just like some other kid who worked there who acts like Ed. But no, it was so funny. Like, oh man, and I was really hoping Crazy Heather was gonna be Ed's wife.
I was looking around. I was like, "There's no way she's not like just in the background somewhere, right?"
I know.
I couldn't see her.
No,
but I guess we were watching it. We were laughing, so I wasn't looking too close.
I mean, she's a big actress, so I assume she could have had some sort of scheduling conflict. But man, all the cameos too. Like,
I wasn't gonna talk about that, but I'm gonna list off all the actors that played themselves in this movie.
Yeah.
So we got Mark Cuban.
Yeah.
We have sorry, Pickles came up. Let's see.
I know Zoe Saldana was in there.
Yeah, Young Gravy, Nicole Richie, Zoe Saldana, Andy Samberg, Maya Rudolph, Bowie Yang, Chrissy Teigen, Shar Jackson was in there, Daryl McDaniels, Shaun White, Mickey Day, Danny Tamborelli, George Clinton.
George Clinton was in there. So to preface this, for those who haven't watched it, this was a scene where they riffed on the I think it was a cover of Imagine that Gal Gadot did with a bunch of celebrities during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
It went viral on TikTok. So this is a riff on that where it was like they were singing a song. I think it was called Get Good Burger Back or something like that. And just like out of nowhere, the celebrities just started singing this song. It was so funny because it was so out of nowhere. Like, I don't know how they got all these celebrities on board for it, but it was so funny.
We were watching it. The biggest thing we had to say about it was their budget was so big. Actually, no,
look up the budget. Like, because I mean, obviously, almost all the budget went directly into, like casting. because they didn't go over the top with visual effects. Or I mean, the sets were pretty good, honestly. Like recreating the inside of Good Burger, like the original restaurant. I don't know if it was exactly the same, but it looked really good.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm curious to see. But man, it was so the plot of the movie in essence is Dex is back to his old shenanigans of swindling people, trying to make products. He's like an inventor. But basically, yeah, an entrepreneur. But he loses everything, and so he goes to visit Ed because he knows Ed always has his back. And so basically, there's a big company trying to buy Good Burger and franchise it. And so they convince the people trying to buy it, convince Dex to convince Ed. And long story short, they all get screwed, and they close down the original Good Burger. And so they have to break into this. I think it was actually called just Mega Corporation.
Yeah.
Megacorp, whatever. They had to break into this place, and they were making new Good Burgers, but using robotic Eds as the servers and stuff. It was it was so good. But so that's the premise of the movie. And so yeah, it was man. So there actually was a script written for Good Burger 2 back in the 90s.
Oh, really?
But it never came to fruition, so it was published as a book. I think it was called Good Burger 2 Go, which, I mean, come on, would have been the perfect title for a Good Burger sequel. But, yeah, so you can still buy and read that book if you want to know what the original story was.
I can't.
But obviously they didn't go with that because it's 20 years later now. But, yeah, it was so good.
It looks like they haven't disclosed how much it cost yet.
Okay, I gotcha.
But, oh my god. Oh, we forgot to mention. So the product that Dex made that started all this was it Fire No More?
Fire No More or Burn No More or something.
Burn No More, that's what it was. He tried making it so that firefighters would lose all their jobs.
It was just a spray that you supposedly spray all over something that causes stuff not to get caught on fire.
And he burned his own house
to pitch it to the investors, which obviously was Mark Cuban, of course, who, let me just say, he's an awful actor. He cannot act in the slightest. But it was really funny to have him there. Obviously, so Dex decided to wow the investors by doing it on his own house. And yeah, he burned his own house down, which is what prompted him to go out to California where Ed was. Yeah, it was so good. I feel like I can't even like that. That's the only thing I can say about it is it's so good.
Honestly, it blew my mind for how good it was. The first thing that we had to say about it too was good up on Ed for still being able to do the voice perfectly. It's like he hasn't lost it at all.
No, yeah, it was really funny. Like the characters just stayed the same.
Literally, like especially with only Dex, Ed being from the original cast, and then I guess Fizz was there for. Actually, we never saw him again.
Yeah, yep, he was there.
But like, everyone that was new in this fit incredibly.
Like, oh yeah, like the new characters, the younger cast, they fit right into the feel of Good Burger.
I would just say I'm really upset that Splack wasn't there anymore.
Yeah,
I loved his like in the background his faces that he made in the original.
Or are you talking about Spatch?
Spatch, yes,
the grill guy.
Yeah.
I know. I was hoping Spatch was going to be there.
But no,
I will say,
incredible.
Rest in peace. I miss Otis. I'm sad he wasn't in the movie. But the old lady that they got to sort of replace his character was so funny.
My heart stopped 4 times this week.
Oh, it's so good. Like that's what I mean is I don't think cuz Dan Schneider wrote the original one and obviously he's not doing stuff anymore
Yeah.
probably for good reason. But yeah, I don't know who wrote this movie. It could have been Keenan and Kel for all I know. But yeah, they did a great job at writing in that same sort of universe, I guess.
Writers. Oh wow! It Dan Schneider is a company that it's Kevin Koplo and Heath Seifert.
Okay.
Okay, weird thing. So I'm on IMDb.com with Good Burger 2. So it has director, it has writers, and then stars, right?
Yep.
Why is the stars Kel Mitchell, Pete Davidson, and Kenan Thompson? Why is
That was
Pete
the funny thing
Davidson
too. Yeah, Pete Davidson came out of nowhere.
Why
Like
is
he was right at the beginning. It was I completely forgot he was in the movie until you said it. Because he totally came out of nowhere right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, besides Ed, he's the first person we see in Good Burger 2 is Pete Davidson.
His character name is Angry Customer.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I really thought that they were going to overdo it with the cameos.
They did, but they did.
They did, but it worked. Nah, no Shaq, though. Man. That's okay. Shaq's probably got his own more stuff going on now than he did back then. But yeah, it was amazing.
All of Ed's kids are so cute as well.
Oh my gosh, I know.
Do you remember all their names?
Oh gosh, I know there was Pickles. One of them was No Mayo. There was, I think, Ketchup and Mustard.
Yep.
What was the other one? I don't remember.
You're missing one. There's Ed 2, obviously, but there's one more after that.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It's a burger topping.
Was it? Oh, it was no tomato.
No.
No. What am I thinking of? I don't know. What
Onion.
was it? Onion. That's what it was.
Which one of them glue in the dark? Was it no tomato? It was no mayo.
Oh, maybe.
The preface of one of his kids glows in the dark to an extreme level of infrared cameras.
That's what I mean. That's the style of comedy that I'm talking about. Is just stupid stuff like that doesn't happen in movies and stuff anymore.
It was midday and he was brighter than what's on top.
He just turns off the lights and it's pitch black except for this kid who's glowing.
Also, that all of his kids, even his toddler, is wearing the Good Burger uniform, including the hat
and the dog. They had the dog in the Good Burger shirt.
Do you remember the name of the dog and the parrot?
No.
The dog's name was Attack and the parrot's name was Don't.
Yeah. Yep.
Don't attack!
Because that was the thing, was he was grabbing Dex's leg and everybody kept screaming, attack, attack! And he's like, why are you telling it to attack me? No, that's his name.
The parrot keeps flying. Don't attack!
I miss when movies and shows, I miss when stuff was that simple. It's it doesn't need to be over the top. It doesn't it's just stupid humor for the sake of being stupid. And it's funny. I miss it. That's why I miss old cartoons like old SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Like Ren and Stimpy, Ed, Edd and Eddy, that sort of era. I feel like The Amazing World of Gumball was the last cartoon to ever capture that sort of that vibe. Man, that'll be a topic for another episode, but The Amazing World of Gumball is a masterpiece.
Oh, it's so
every season of that show is just so good.
All the references, all the Easter eggs in it too are great.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a fan of the original, you're gonna love it. If you've never seen the original and you don't get it, you might not enjoy it as much. But if you're fans of the original like we are, you're gonna love it. It's amazing.
And all I gotta say is that they got the rights to Roxanne. That's like that's big. When I heard
Just for the one scene too. Oh my gosh.
it was so funny. I yelled so loud when it came on because me and Riley were watching it, and Roxanne came on the screen because we originally thought that Roxanne was Ed's wife because in the trailer she was just carrying his kid.
It was such a good fake out too.
Yeah, so she popped up and I started yelling Roxanne, and then the actual song Roxanne came on. I'm like, oh, no way!
Yeah, it was so good. Oh man, that's what I mean. They went all out in all the best ways.
Ed's party shirt.
He did I mean, it's just like what he did in the original when they went to go on a date. He just put a tie onto his work outfit.
Was it the same burger tie?
Oh, was it?
It was the same burger tie.
I don't know. No, I don't know if it was.
The same one that he used the restaurant in. Yeah, I think it is. Hold up.
Let me look up. Yeah, Ed Good Burger date outfit. Is it the same tie? Yes, it is. No, it's
Let's
not.
go.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Oh my god.
No, it's not.
No.
No.
I
No,
think
it's
it
not.
is.
No, it's a little different. It's not a burger in the original. It's like some hearts or something. Darn it. Oh, I thought it was the same tie. But whatever tie it was, I want to get that tie. Ed had a tie in the new movie that was just like a burger, but like exploded view. So it was just like you could see like the bun, the lettuce, tomato, whatever, like all separated, spreading the length of the tie. It was really funny. Man, I'm really hoping that the release of this movie resurges a need for Good Burger merchandise. Because I need some Good Burger shirts. I had one that I found on clearance at Kohl's a few years ago that just said, "I'm a dude, he's a dude, she's a dude, we're all dudes." And it doesn't fit me anymore.
Oh,
They don't sell the shirt anymore. So I'm
the opera version.
fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. I'm hoping for some Good Burger 2 merch.
Oh, we forgot to count how many times they had a good "I'm a Dude" remixes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. You know what killed me the most? Was they did a remix of the hamburger, cheeseburger, Big Mac, Whopper. I don't know how they like. That's such a niche thing, but it fits so good. Yeah, I loved it. It was so faithful to the original, which is something you don't see a whole lot with sequels. So,
all right, before we cut it out too, we gotta go. What was your favorite scene from Good Burger 2?
oh, that's so difficult. What was yours?
Oh, now I gotta think about it too. So, it's between two. It's either Ed 2 driving the car into Good Burger.
Yeah,
and be like, "I got the car back.
I picked up the new car."
His voice was so perfect as well.
He nailed it. That's like everything, the mannerisms, like he nailed it.
It's either that or like the scene where the soda machine, Ed teaching him about putting the cap on the lid of the cup first.
You can't put the lid on the cup before you fill it up.
Does it do with root beer? Yes. Does it do with cola? Yes. Does it do with Fanta?
With fruit punch?
I haven't tried it. It's like,
oh my gosh. Yeah, it was so good. Yeah, and just like the "Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?" With he nailed it. Oh my
pulling the
gosh.
fries off his eyelids like gluey.
I think honestly, just for like what it was, I think the opening scene was my favorite, where he's just singing with the floating foods, because that was like so faithful to the original. Like, oh, I love it, and I love how they kept sort of the opening the same,
Yeah.
where he gets there and the ending of Welcome to Good Burger. Like, it was like, man, like it's one of those things that I don't even know how else to describe it, but like it was awesome.
I
I
also
loved
another
it.
one of my other favorite scenes because I just remembered it because it's so pointless to the actual main story of the movie. Serving the burger at that veggie girl.
That's what I mean. She had to be some sort of TikTok star or some sort of celebrity. Because like that was totally. I don't know who she was, but I feel like she had to have been some cameo. Because if not, it was so out of the blue. Where it was just like, I can serve you anything.
She had no lines other than that, and then she was just gone for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I feel like she was some cameo. I just have no idea who. I feel that way for a lot of it is like the security guards and stuff. Like the only person I knew in that whole sequence was Liza Koshy.
Which also we didn't realize at first when we came back. It's like, oh my god, it's her.
See, because she didn't. I thought it was her because I knew she was in the movie, and I saw it out of the corner of my eye. I was like, oh, is that her? But she didn't have any lines. She was just in the background. So I was like, oh, it's probably not. And then they cut back later, and it was her.
You wanna know what's even funnier about that?
What?
So we have like the names Tough Goon, Scrawny Goon. We we have all this, right? Liza's character has a name.
Even though they didn't say it once.
It's Wilma the Technician.
Did they? I don't even think they said her name.
I don't think so either. Which is, I find it funny because the other guy too, Oscar the Technician, but then there's someone who's named Jimothy in the movie.
Jimothy.
Oh yeah. I forgot his name was Jimothy, but like, I don't know why because we have serious waiter, we have inconvenienced customer, friendly customer.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
We have
So if you haven't watched it yet, go watch it.
I forgot about the food dude,
The food dude.
the German.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. See, was that like was that a cameo? Is that guy in anything else? Is he like an actual food review guy on YouTube or something?
Let's see. His name is Flula Borg. Is known for Resurgence, Hollywood Beat, and Lore. He's an actor.
Huh. Interesting. So he's not like an actual food critic or anything.
Not that I know of.
Okay. That was still a
Also-
really funny sequence.
I believe the actor that got served food. Her name is Marseille Martin.
Okay.
She.
Is she an actual singer?
Let me take a look.
Because she was on stage performing, but I didn't know she was a singer in real life. I didn't recognize her name.
An American actress best known for her roles as Diana Johnson on Blackish.
Oh, okay. So she's a big actress, not an
Yeah.
actual singer, though. I gotcha. Interesting. Yeah,
It's
man,
very
it
hard to
was
tell
so
it's
good.
her because in no like images of her does she have her hair like that. But
Oh, I gotcha.
and he's not wearing the glasses either. But I'm very certain it's her.
Okay, gotcha.
So yeah, it was just a cameo that they had.
Right. That was so good, man. I loved it. I want to
They
watch it
even
again.
have the firewoman from the beginning. Lily Mae Harrington.
Huh.
That
Man.
this was so perfect
It was
in
so
every
good.
way. And then I swear if they do Good Burger 3 and they end up in space, I will shit my pants.
Man, I would love a Good Burger 3 just because of what it is. And like Keenan and Kel were on Jimmy Fallon to promote the movie the other day, and they did say that they are planning on continuing collaborating just
I love
because
that.
this was such a fun thing. So I don't know if it'll be like a Good Burger 3, but I can totally see them like what's the word I'm thinking of? I don't know. Like
Revamping?
kind of revamping like Keenan and Kel.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can totally see them doing like a reboot of that show.
Okay, could you imagine if it was like if it just followed Ed 2?
Dude, that's the only way I would want it. Like I feel like he has to play Kel's son in everything now. He was so good.
Literally, like everything down to like the raspiness of his voice was.
And
I
just
don't
the
know what
mannerisms. He like perfectly captured Ed. It was so funny.
He did such an incredible job.
It was so
like
good.
in every scene he was like the scene where he's like, I'm going home. He
Yeah.
leaves, Mom, I'm home. He did so well.
Gosh, it was so good. Man.
I'm
So
crying. I'm laughing too hard to start to cry.
good.
I'm so glad we're not recording a video.
So if you're listening to this and you haven't watched it yet, go watch it.
Please.
If you
so
haven't
can
seen the
understand.
original, if you haven't seen the original Good Burger, go watch that as well. Watch that first, because then you'll truly appreciate the sequel for what it is. I loved it. It was awesome.
Did Tom and Mika watch Good Burger 1 with you yet?
No.
So next time I'm there.
Yeah, we're
we'll
gonna do a
invite
watch
them.
party.
We'll watch 1 and 2.
Yep.
This
It will be glorious. I'm so excited. All right, let's wrap it. We've gone on too long. We'll wrap this up. Yeah. So thank you all for listening. We really appreciate it. Tune in next week where I think we are going to do the first annual TKR Game Awards.
Yes.
We're going to sort of analyze the nominations for Game Awards, pitch our own games that weren't included, because, man, do I have some games that I'm furious didn't make the cut.
And, man, there's one nomination I'm furious about, and we're going to get into why.
And we're going to get into it. Thank you all for listening, and we will see you in the next one.
Good Burger 2 for life!